Picture this for a moment. You take a tiny seed and plant it in the ground. On the very first day, you see nothing. 10 days later, still bare soil. After a whole month, you might notice the faintest sprout, fragile and almost invisible. But here's the magic. Fast forward 10 years, and that little seed has transformed into a giant tree. A tree that gives shade in the summer, fruits in the season, and even strong wood that can last for generations. That's how wealth works. But here's the painful truth. Most people don't let their seed grow. After just a week, they dig it out of the soil, frustrated, muttering, "This isn't working." They quit too early. They trade patience for disappointment. Millionaires? They think differently. They understand that wealth isn't built in days or even months. It's cultivated over years, sometimes decades. They don't chase quick wins. They plant, nurture, and wait. And that's exactly what separates them from everyone else. It's not luck. It's not a secret formula. It's a mindset, the discipline to think in decades, not days. Because once you shift your perspective like this, the entire world looks different. Every financial decision becomes a seed. Every opportunity an orchard in disguise, and your future wealth. It becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Let's start with a hard truth. The human brain is not built for wealth, it's built for survival. Think about it. For 99% of human history, your ancestors weren't worried about retirement funds or stock portfolios. They were worried about finding enough food for dinner. They needed safety for the night, warmth for the winter, and maybe, just maybe, a few good years of survival to pass their genes forward. In that world, thinking 20 years ahead was useless. If you didn't know whether you'd survive the week, what's the point of planning for decades? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Fast forward to today. We no longer live in caves or fight off wild animals. Most of us aren't hunting our meals or gathering wood for fire. But our brains? They're still wired the same way, and that ancient wiring makes us addicted to the short term. That's why we scroll endlessly, chasing the next tiny dopamine hit. That's why we buy things we don't even need, just for a 30-second high when the delivery package arrives. That's why we're obsessed with side hustles that promise cash next week or investments that double overnight. We are programmed for instant rewards, and companies know this. They exploit our biology every single day. Flash sales that expire in 5 minutes, apps designed to keep us hooked for hours, marketing that whispers, "Hurry, everyone else is already doing it." It's FOMO on steroids. And this is why so many people end up chasing shiny objects, crypto pumps, meme stocks, get rich quick business hacks. One month they're in drop shipping, the next month they're flipping NFTs, and the month after that they're burning out. They're running in circles, burning time, energy, and money, trapped in short term thinking. But here's the tragedy and the opportunity. While the masses are busy chasing sugar highs, millionaires are playing a completely different game. They understand something most people ignore. Real wealth doesn't come from chasing the next hit. It comes from thinking long term, from planting seeds that take years to grow, from playing decades, not days. And once you step into that mindset, you stop running in circles, you stop being manipulated, you start building real lasting freedom. Think about Warren Buffett for a moment. At age 30, he wasn't the richest man in the world. In fact, most people had never even heard of him. He was just another investor running a small partnership, quietly buying undervalued companies while others were chasing flashy opportunities. At age 50, still not the richest. Yes, he had built wealth, but he was nowhere near the billionaires who grabbed headlines. He looked more like a wise but ordinary businessman than a future financial icon. But here's where it gets interesting. By the time Buffett turned 65, something extraordinary happened. The slow, patient seeds he had been planting for decades exploded into growth. His wealth compounded at a rate so massive that he catapulted into the top ranks of the richest people on earth. And by 90, he wasn't just rich, he had become a legend, a symbol of patience, discipline, and time leverage. Now here's the shocking fact. More than 90% of Buffett's wealth came after his 60th birthday. Let that sink in. 6 decades of steady planting, and then the avalanche of rewards. Buffett himself calls it the snowball effect. Imagine pushing a tiny snowball down a hill. At first, it's small, hardly impressive, but as it rolls, it gathers more snow. It grows bigger, it grows faster, and eventually it becomes unstoppable. That's exactly how wealth compounds, quietly invisible in the beginning, yet explosive in the long run. And Warren Buffett isn't alone. Take Jeff Bezos. When Amazon launched in 1995, most people thought the idea was absurd. Books, online, Who's going to buy books on a website when they can just go to a bookstore? The media laughed. Investors doubted him. The company lost money for years, and critics called it Amazon.bomb. But Bezos wasn't thinking about 1995. He wasn't even thinking about the year 2000. He was thinking about 2010, 2020, and 2030. He was planting seeds for a digital empire that would outlive its critics. And look at Amazon today, one of the most powerful companies in history. What do Buffett and Bezos have in common? It's not that they are smarter than everyone else. It's not that they had some secret knowledge others couldn't access. It's that they zoom out. Most people ask, how much can I make this month? But millionaires and billionaires ask, what seeds can I plant today that will grow for 10, 20, 30 years? That's why they often seem patient, boring, even slow in the short term. Buffett reading financial reports for hours. Bezos reinvesting profits instead of celebrating them. It looks unexciting compared to someone trading crypto or chasing the next hot trend. But here's the paradox. The very habits that look boring in the short run are what make them powerful, unstoppable, and what outsiders call lucky in the long run. It's not luck, it's time leverage. Time is the most powerful multiplier in existence. And the moment you stop trying to win tomorrow and start thinking about winning decades, you've joined the mindset of millionaires. Let's put this in numbers. Suppose you invest 10,000 a month at 12% annual return. After 5 years, 8 lakhs. After 10 years, 23 lakhs. After 20 years, 99 lakhs. After 30 years, 3.5 crores. Now here's the magic. The first 10 years feel slow, almost boring. You look at your balance and think, all this saving and discipline and this is it? That's where most people quit. But the next 10 years, they explode. Your money doesn't just grow, it starts multiplying itself. And the last 10 years, they're absolutely life-changing. That's when decades of patience finally reward you. Albert Einstein once called compounding the eighth wonder of the world, and he was right, but here's the tragedy. Most people never experience it. Why? Because they pull out too early. They want results in 6 months, not 6 decades. Now let me give you an analogy. Imagine you plant a bamboo seed. For the first year, nothing. The second year, still nothing. The third year, you start doubting yourself. But then in the fifth year, something incredible happens. That bamboo shoots up 80 feet in just 6 weeks. Did the bamboo really grow in 6 weeks? No, it was growing all along, underground, building roots, preparing strength. The explosion was just the visible result of invisible patience. Wealth works the exact same way. For the first few years, you'll barely notice anything. It'll feel slow, boring, even frustrating. But if you keep going, if you let time do its magic, you'll hit a point where your money grows faster than you can even track. Millionaires understand this. They're not smarter than you. They're not luckier than you. They're simply more patient than you. While others are busy chasing quick flips, they're quietly planting seeds. And when the forest grows, everyone else calls it luck. Short-term thinking doesn't just slow you down. It destroys wealth. Think about it. You buy the latest iPhone instead of investing in assets. 1 year later, that phone is outdated. But if you had invested the same money, it could have been the seed of a small fortune. You trade daily in the stock market, chasing excitement instead of holding quality companies for 10 years. Maybe you get lucky once or twice, but in the long run, the casino always wins. And the stock market punishes gamblers. You jump between side hustles, never mastering one. 1 month it's drop shipping, next month it's crypto trading, then it's AI courses. But by the time you quit each hustle, you've only scratched the surface. You never give anything enough time to compound, skills, reputation, or income. It's like planting a mango tree and then uprooting it every 3 months because you're hungry. You'll never get fruit. You'll keep running in circles, exhausted and empty-handed. Millionaires don't make this mistake. They understand a universal law. Seeds need seasons. They plant, they water, they wait, and then they harvest forever. Let me give you a picture. Imagine 2 people. One keeps digging up the soil every week, checking if the roots have grown. The other just plants, waters, and walks away. 10 years later, the first person has nothing but dry soil. The second is sitting under a massive tree, enjoying shade, fruits, and wealth that keeps giving year after year. This is the difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification, between poverty and prosperity, between scarcity thinking and abundance thinking. And here's the irony. The person chasing short-term rewards actually works harder. They're constantly running, switching, hustling, stressing. While the patient investor, they look calm, almost boring. But when the harvest comes, it looks like magic. It's not magic, it's compounding. It's time leverage. It's the millionaire's mindset. Now, the real question, how do you, sitting right here today, actually start thinking in decades? Because it's one thing to hear the theory, but unless you change your daily habits, your brain will keep chasing quick dopamine hits. Here's a simple 3-step system you can start today. Step 1, create a 10-year vision journal. Don't just say, I want to be rich. That's vague. Instead, write down in detail. Where do you want to live? How do you want your mornings to look? What kind of work do you want to do? Or maybe you want complete freedom. What will your lifestyle cost, monthly and yearly? This is important. The brain loves precision. If your goal is blurry, your actions will be blurry. But if your goal is clear, your actions will align. Think about Bezos back in 1995. He wasn't building Amazon just for that year. He had a crystal clear vision of 2010, 2020, 2030. That's what guided him when others laughed. So grab a notebook. Call it your 10-year vision journal. Write as if it's already 2035 and you're describing your life in present tense. It will shock you how powerful this clarity becomes. Step 2, automate wealth. Here's the problem. Humans are emotional. We see a sale, we buy, we see a crash, we panic. That's why the rich don't rely on discipline alone. They rely on systems. Set up SIPs, invest in index funds, open retirement accounts. But here's the key, automate it. Make the money leave your account before you even see it. When saving and investing become default, not a decision, you win. Because then your brain doesn't get to fight you every month with short-term temptation. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you just do it. That's how investing should feel, automatic. Step 3, train your time perspective. This is where the mindset shift happens. Every time you make a financial choice, pause and ask yourself, will future me in 2035 thank me for this? Future you is watching. Every late night online shopping binge, every wasted investment, every missed opportunity, they all add up. But so do the good choices. Every SIP you set, every skill you build, every book you read, it compounds. Future, you will either curse you or thank you. It's like a mental workout. The more you practice this time travel question, the more your brain rewires itself into long-term mode. Bonus hack, choose your circle wisely. This one's underrated. If your friends only talk about the next iPhone drop, you'll think short term. If they gossip about promotion status and showing off, you'll get stuck in the same trap. But if your circle talks about building businesses, investing in assets, creating freedom, your brain automatically stretches into long-term thinking. It's like osmosis. Mindsets rub off. So ask yourself, are the people around me dragging me into the short term or pulling me into the long term? This 3-step system may sound simple, but if you actually live it, your 10-year self will be unrecognizable. Not because you worked harder, but because you worked smarter, longer, and with time as your ally. So here's my challenge for you. Tonight, just 15 minutes, that's all. Take out a notebook or even your phone and write down one decision you can make today that your 20 years older self will look back on and smile. Maybe it's as small as skipping that impulse Amazon order. Maybe it's as powerful as starting your first SIP. Or maybe it's opening a wealth book and reading just one chapter. It doesn't matter how small. What matters is this: you take the first step. Because the day you start making choices that your future self thanks you for, that's the day you've already started living like a millionaire, long before the money arrives. If this video gave you value, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about, your friends, your kids, or even your parents. Let them start planting their forest too. And of course, hit that subscribe button to join me here at Life Decode. Because in the next episode, we're unlocking another hidden layer of the Millionaire playbook, one that will completely change how you see opportunity. Until then, remember this: think in decades, plant trees, build forests, and never forget, you've got this.